Excellent. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see so many of you on the call this evening. And if you're watching this by video from YouTube, welcome to you guys as well. I'd encourage you to take the time, sometimes at least, to come and visit us on the live call. I know it doesn't always work out because of time zones, and some people need sleep. Personally, I think you can sleep when you're dead, but some people actually like to have some sleep. That's fine, and no criticism at all. But you would get more out of the Zoom call by being with us, being able to chime in, ask questions. You know, it's just more. You get more out of it when you're there in person. In the same way, you get more out of a concert when you're there in person rather than watching the DVD later. I don't know if any of you still have DVDs, or if you're watching the live streaming of it later. The same as going to church. You get more out of the sermon when you're there, as opposed to listening to the audio recording later. So I'd encourage you to come and join us on these Zoom calls on a Sunday evening, 10 o'clock UK time. And I publish the list of times around the world on a Sunday morning. So, just come and join us. So what we're going to talk about this evening is quite a standard Wealth Warriors presentation. I'm going to give you enough information to understand what Wealth Warriors is. I say that with a little bit of tongue in cheek because it took me a long time to figure out what Wealth Warriors is. And I've been working with some of you guys now for many, many months on Wealth Warriors. I've been doing this presentation and I still get phone calls from people who have been with me for many months, and they say, I watched your presentation last week and I've got it now. I understand what's happening. And I go, well, what about the last 6 months? Did you not understand? No, didn't have a clue what was going on. But I just knew that if I stuck in there long enough, I would understand it. So it's a strange concept. You probably haven't seen anything like it before. But it's a great concept, and I can, if I'm not too egocentric to say that, because it's my brainchild. It took me a long time to I started with one idea, and quickly that got knocked back and reshaped, and we went down a different route. And so several ideas later, we've formed it into what is now Wealth Warriors. So I'm going to run through that as a standard presentation. I'm also going to try and give you a couple of introductory videos for a couple of the platforms that we're working with. Only because I want you to get the idea that we have this principle, if you like, that we don't just stick with one platform. If we stick with one platform, then we're putting ourselves in a little bit of danger. The old expression, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket," rings true here, because somebody could drop that basket, you could drop that basket, the basket might get dropped by anybody else. So we want to have many eggs in many baskets, and so you'll get the hang of that by the time we finish. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody. I'm going to switch the doorbell off. I don't know if you can hear the doorbell coming through. Okay, I'm going to switch off the doorbell, and now I'm going to share my screen. And we'll be back at the end for questions and answers. Did I not mute everybody? Something gone horribly wrong. Let's try this again. There we go. That should be everybody muted. Cool. Just goes to show you don't have to be a genius to do this, for which I'm eternally grateful. And let's get on with the presentation. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. And this is a Wealth Warriors presentation, needless to say, because it's welcome to Wealth Warriors. But I do other presentations. I like to put on the screen that it's a part of a group of presentations done by Wealth Warriors, particularly where it's strategizing or workshops or looking at just one of the platforms. So they form like a suite of videos, if you like. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. I used to have a byline that said freedom fighters, financial freedom fighters, and I still consider ourselves to be the financial freedom fighters because I've got this picture in my head that the whole world is arrayed against us. We've got governments and financial institutions, banking institutions. We've got wealthy families that have laid down all the rules, that don't want us to make money. We've got other companies that don't want to make money. We've got some companies specifically who want us to join their operation so that they can take our money and run away. We'll cover some of that in a minute. But we are the financial freedom fighters. We're like the gorillas in the jungle, coming out and we're fighting the big bad, I don't know, totalitarian forces, if you like, so that we can create for ourselves our own financial future, our own personal wealth, our own generational wealth, playing by our rules, not by the rules that other people try to impose on us. Hopefully you get the hang of that during this presentation, but don't be surprised if you don't. Just keep coming back to watch the presentations. It will all make sense. So I'm going to speed this presentation up a little bit because I want to go through these couple of videos as well. So nothing in this presentation is to be taken as financial investment or investment advice. We're not an investment platform. We are a community. Sorry, there's something I want to say. When I switch the recording off later, I will have a discussion with those of you who want to stay for it. It's about registering Wealth Warrior members in a formal way. So if you want to be part of that discussion, please stay on the call afterwards. But it won't be on the recording. So if you do decide to invest in any of the platforms discussed in this presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose and carry out your own due diligence. Okay, so you have a particular risk appetite, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You want to make some money using online businesses, and you're prepared to take a little bit of risk. You're prepared to put some money in, expose yourself to some risk in return for the rewards that you get in the future. Only you know what your risk appetite is. I don't know that. Nobody else knows that. So nobody can advise you. And it's up to you to decide that for yourself. For example, you might say, I'm happy to expose myself to $1,000 potential loss for a period of 3 months. And so that's it. That's the strategy you would follow, or you would make a strategy to stick within that risk portfolio or risk appetite. Okay, so nobody else can decide that for you. That's your call. So what is the problem with online businesses? Why do we need all this hassle? Why can't we just join a platform, make some money and get on with our lives? Why do we need to go through the hassle of developing Wealth Warriors, which has a certain number of rules and a certain way of doing things? And, sometimes it's a bit restrictive. Why can't we just get on with online businesses? Well, the first problem is there are just too many scams out there. There are some businesses that are set up specifically to scam you out of your money. Now, in the process of doing developing Wealth Warriors, it's taken me over a year. Where are we now? April. So it's probably taken me about 16 or 17 months to develop Wealth Warriors. And I've now investigated I've lost count, but it's definitely over 250 different businesses, and 246 of them probably turned out to be scams. Okay, when you know what you're looking for, you can spot it a mile off. But there are a lot of scams out there. And the problem is people don't know how to carry out due diligence. They don't know what they're looking at. They think that just because a platform pays out, allows you to withdraw your profits and things like that, they think that that's an indication that it's not a scam. No, scam businesses allow people to withdraw their money as well. Okay, so with Wealth Warriors, you don't really need to be too concerned with scams, because we identify them and we try not to get, or we don't get involved with them. And if we do, we identify it quickly and we get out and minimize our losses. So those businesses that aren't scams are so poorly run that they go bust. And you've seen this on your own high street, the local town where you live. There are businesses there now. There are empty businesses where there used to be businesses. So if you look up or a lot of the businesses that used to be local to you 5 years ago, a huge number of them are not available anymore. You've got all the big chains, of course. Even some of the chains aren't immune from this. Some of the big chains of stores go bust as well. But apart from the big chains, just look at the small businesses. A lot of them have gone bust, and it's not an indication that the owner of that business was doing anything wrong or nefarious. It just means they were poorly run. Maybe they were priced at the wrong price point, the wrong products, the wrong area. They couldn't afford to pay their staff enough to do the work, and just so many things that can go wrong with businesses. In fact, banks keep track of the top 10 reasons why businesses go bust within 5 years. Most businesses actually fail within 5 years. I mean, a huge percentage, 95% of businesses or something like that, fail within 5 years. And the top three reasons are all to do with not having enough money, enough working capital, and also just being the wrong business in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, that's the top three reasons. And a lot of some businesses aren't scams, and they're not poorly run, but they do get shut down by regulators and government departments. And sometimes these government departments, they overstep their bounds. They make all sorts of assumptions, all sorts of opinions, and of course, because they're the government, their opinion apparently carries weight. So if they issue an order for a business to close down, to see funds to be seized, that's what happens, because the banks have agreed to work with the government and seize funds if the government asks them to. So they do that. And some businesses, perfectly legitimate businesses, come under the scrutiny of government departments, regulators, okay, and then they make a decision. Do we fight this? Do we get, spend, I don't know, $5-10 million and the next 4 years of our life fighting this? Or do we just say, okay, I'm fed up with this. It's happened, so let's go. And most businesses, almost all businesses, and I can only think of 2 or 3 businesses that didn't do that. They stood their ground and they fought their case. Okay, but it did cost them $10 million and it did cost them 4 years. But most businesses just say, this is all too tough, I'm off. Okay, so, and then of course the funds have been seized by the government, and the government doesn't want to give you your money back. Apparently they're there to protect investors, but they're not there to give you your money back. And it doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses, you cannot become truly free. You just can't, because freedom is more than just money. So what can we do about it? Well, individually, not a lot, because we only know what we know. We don't know what we don't know, so we'll keep making the same mistakes. But collectively, we're as smart. So none of us is as smart as all of us. That's what I'm trying to say. So collectively, we have wisdom of the crowds. And so we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of the industry. We're safer together, and this may not become apparent straight away, but with safety comes time. Okay, and that's what we need in these online businesses, because whatever level you start at, whether you start with $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, it doesn't matter, because that is a level you're comfortable at. So for you to progress then and make a significant improvement on that takes time. It's not going to happen in a few weeks or even a few months. It takes time, sometimes a few years. Good businesses will give you a great income maybe within 18 months, 2 years. Okay. So that's what we get from it. So what are the benefits? Benefit 1, you will never lose all of your money to a scammer again. Okay, benefit 2, your team will develop deep loyalty and commitment to you. Benefit 3, not to Wealth Warriors, not to me, but to you. Benefit 3, protect your permanent network of contacts. And I've never known a business or a business system offer this. Okay, so when we first get involved in a business like this, or a business like some of the platforms we use, we get all excited. We're going to get rich in 10 minutes, okay, and we're going to go and invite all of our friends and neighbors and work colleagues, and I don't know if I said relatives, but all the people we know, we're going to get them involved in this project because we're all going to get rich together. Okay, then it turns out to be either a scam or poorly run or got shut down by the regulators. Okay, and you lose money, but worst of all, your friends, neighbors, relatives, they all lose money as well. Okay, so now you feel guilty for introducing them. They feel they hate you because you introduced them. Okay, and so you're off their Christmas card list and they probably don't talk to you. And worst of all, you don't blame them. You think it's all your fault. Well, it isn't your fault. You were just using the wrong system. You weren't using a system. In fact, you were just using one platform, and you can't rely on one platform. So what we do with Wealth Warriors is we build Wealth Warriors in such a way that we protect your permanent network of contacts. And I'm going to show you an illustration in a minute that will show you how that works. Benefit 4, you can build future business much faster with far more profit. Again, I'll show you that in a few minutes. Benefit 5, you build one business and you grow all the Wealth Warrior businesses. Anything that we're involved with, you build one and bring people along to learn about Wealth Warriors, and I'll teach them how to get involved in all the other platforms, not only how to, but why they should. Benefit 6, you can recoup your loans, mortgages, and recent expenditure. So anytime in the past you've had a loan, anytime in the past you've had a mortgage, you can get all of that money back. You can get back every single penny that's gone out of your bank accounts for the last 3 years. So every year you claim the most recent year's worth of expenditure. It doesn't matter why it left your bank account. It could have gone on a holiday. It could have been you paid for a car. It could be you withdrew cash from your bank account. It doesn't matter. The money left your bank account, you can claim it back again. And benefit 7, you can then become free and wealthy and live an abundant life. So I'm going to show you a quick illustration. And here are the assumptions with an illustration. I need to make sure that you understand why, what I've assumed. Wealth Warriors deal with 4 platforms, and in fact we do, but I was saying this even when we only had 3. You have 10 platforms in all, 10 people in all 4 platforms. You're making $1,000 per month in each of the 4 platforms. That won't be real. Some will be more, some will be less. Okay, it doesn't matter. For this illustration, assume $1,000 per month per platform. And so therefore your total income is $4,000 per month. So let's have a look and see what that's like. So this is you. You've introduced Alan, Belle, and Chris, and they've introduced some people. So you've now got 10 people in your whole business. So therefore your income is $1,000 per month. So let's move that out of the way and we'll bring in platform 2. What you probably noticed about platform 2 is that you have introduced the same 3 people, Alan, Belle, and Chris, and they've introduced the same 7 other people in exactly the same positions. So now you have 10 people in both platforms. Your income now is $2,000 per month. So now we introduce platform 3, and you've introduced Alan, Belle, and Chris into platform 3. They've introduced their friends in exactly the same positions in platform 3. And so your income is $3,000 per month. And we've got platform 4, exactly the same thing happens. You've introduced Alan, Belle, and Chris, and they've introduced the same people. Your income now is $4,000 per month. So let's run with our business like that for a few weeks, a few months, maybe, hopefully even a few years. That's a nice little setup. You've got 4 income streams, nice little bit of security. And every time you add somebody to your business, they get added to all 4 businesses. But now let's suppose something happens to platform 4. Maybe the person running it doesn't want to run it anymore. Maybe he's been hit by a bus. If it's good enough for me, it's good enough for him. And he's the only person who knew what was happening. That's a good example of a poorly run business. We try to avoid them, but it might have happened. It could be they were shut down by regulators. It doesn't matter. Platform 4 has gone. So you're left with 3 platforms. So here's some important information. The first thing is your income doesn't drop all the way to 0. It drops to $3,000 per month because, yes, we've lost 1 platform, but we have 3 platforms producing income for us every month. The second thing is you don't lose your friends because you're still in 3 other businesses with Alan and Belle and Chris. Okay, and they're still in business with their friends that they introduced. So nobody hates you. You don't hate yourself. You think, okay, this is a minor setback. Let's pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get on with it. So my job then is to go out and find another platform. So I find platform 5, and within a few days of us introducing platform 5, you've introduced Alan and Belle and Chris to platform 5, and they've introduced all of their friends in exactly the same positions in platform 5, and therefore your income has gone back up to $4,000 per month. We could carry on adding platform 6, 7, and 8, okay, and people will continue to grow their businesses. So when somebody gets into platform 3, they also get into platforms 1, 2, and 5. When somebody gets into platform 5, they also get into platforms 1, 2, and 3. It might not happen immediately, but that's what we teach in Wealth Warriors. And so over a period of time, that's exactly what happens. So this system, this policy, this philosophy, if you like, overcomes the biggest problems that these types of online platform businesses have. And that is you can lose all your friends and you can lose all your money. So working with this system, we don't have to suffer those losses. So if you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. These are the rules. I'm going to skip through them very quickly. The first one is resist the urge to sign up in any other platform that comes along that you like the look of. Okay, because if it's a good platform, Wealth Warriors will adopt it at some point. You might be the person that shows it to us, and we check it out, and yes, it's a good business. It's not a scam. all sustainable. It meets all of our criteria, and so we introduce it to the portfolio. And if you have already gone ahead and signed up, you've just broken your own Wealth Warriors business by being the first one in. Whereas what you really want to do is to wait for Wealth Warriors to adopt a platform, and then when you get in, all of your people, your hundreds of people, your thousands of people, all get in that platform with you. Okay, if you do it the other way around, if you just go run out there and sign up in lots of other platforms, then your people will do the same thing. And then when you introduce platforms within Wealth Warriors to them, they're already in different things. Okay, and it'll mess your business up. So one of the first rule is don't sign up on any other platforms. If it's a good platform, we will adopt it at some point. And we're constantly evaluating businesses. I mean, literally every day of the week, I'm evaluating businesses, and there are very, very few good ones out there. And if it's a good one, we'll get to it. There's no urgency for you to be the first one in. That's a fallacy, and it doesn't make for a good, solid business. Okay, people think you have this. You've got to be the first one in. You've got to get everybody else in into your business because that's where you're going to make most money. No, you'll make most money by introducing people to Wealth Warriors, and then when we adopt that platform, straight away you've got your 100 people, your 1,000 people slot straight in to that platform, and going forward they'll do the same thing in all platforms that we use. Okay, if you just do your own thing, you'll be forever doing your own thing, and that's what got you to where you are now. So do sign up in all the platforms. I've said earlier that some people are still trying to evaluate the different platforms we have. Evaluate by all means, but do sign up in them, even if you don't actually do anything. Sign up in them so that you can maintain lines of sponsorship. Okay, if you don't sign up, then the lines of sponsorship get broken, and that's one of the things you don't want to do. Do get your personally introduced people to do the same, and do support your own people by learning about all of the platforms. You don't have to be an expert, and in fact, with most of the platforms, we don't use everything the platform does. We decide we want to do this little bit over here, and that's what we do. Okay, so you don't need to be an expert by any means. If you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. Because you want security of income, you want to build your permanent network, and you want to become wealthy and live an abundant life. If you don't follow the rules, you won't have a permanent network. Okay, and you won't have security of income. Things will come and go in your life, and then people you've introduced to the platforms that you thought you could run on your own will they'll hate you again when they lose money, and so on and so forth, etc. Ad infinitum, round and round we go again, and there's no need for it if you just follow the rules. Being community-centric means you put your community first, not yourself. And I speak to a lot of so-called leaders in the networking field who say that's what they do. Oh yeah, my people are the most important. And then the very next thing that comes out of their mouth is how quickly they got to their first level, or how far up the bonus chart they are. Okay, you can't do both. And most people can't get their heads around what I'm saying. In fact, you probably had the first time you heard me say, don't just sign up in any other platform that comes along, you probably thought, why? I'll do that. I'm allowed to do that if I want to. You can, but you won't have the benefits of the Wealth Warriors can provide. Never losing all your money and never losing all your friends. So remember, platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. And if you can be part of Wealth Warriors, but only if you follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you're excluding yourself from the Wealth Warriors community. So we have criteria. One, it must be available in the whole world. It must have a unilevel compensation plan, and people must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost. So you can imagine if I'm evaluating a new business, within a few minutes, I can decide if that's true, if it meets those first three criteria. If it does, I can look further. And if it doesn't, then if it meets those three criteria, I look deeper, and if it doesn't, then I just bin it. So quick and easy. Because the combination of 1, 2, and 3 means we can maintain the lines of sponsorship across all platforms, which is the most important thing we can do. It's the absolute crux of what we're trying to do. So once that's been ascertained, then it must be based on real world applications, not just a money game or a shell game. And so many people show me businesses, and I said, but what you showed me, there's a Ponzi scheme. They say, no, they're paying out, they're making payments I've been withdrawing for 3 months. I'm sure, but Ponzi schemes pay out at the beginning as well. So, if there's no real world application behind it, if they can't show you what they're doing with their business in order to take your money and make you more money, then it's probably a money game. You've got to be able to verify what they are doing to make you more money. We must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. And there's so many platforms I look at, and they show a certificate of incorporation, and it's fake. They're not. They say they're registered to the FCA or the SEC or the FICA or whatever it is. Okay, the ASIC. Okay, and you just go to the websites and check them out, and it's a load of rubbish. They're not registered to those people at all. They don't have a proper certificate of registration. You go on Google on Street Maps, and you look at where their operating premises are, and it's a two bedroom flat above a chip shop in Clacton. Okay, nothing wrong with a 2-bedroom flat above a chip shop in Clacton, but it's not where you would run a multi-million-pound finance empire from. Just a thought. If possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or the business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all of our questions answered. Now, some of the platforms we're working with don't have a CEO. It's all set up through a different type of business arrangement, through smart contracts and so on. So a couple of the platforms have been a little bit flexible on that. Number 7, the compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And number 8, the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project, so we don't leave anybody behind. If, for example, we got involved in a gambling project and we had a lot of people who didn't, for religious reasons or moral reasons, they don't want to get involved in gambling, they wouldn't even sign up. So therefore, we're destroying our ability to maintain lines of sponsorship. The same with money lending and so on and so forth. So here are some of the platforms that we can talk about. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Matrix Freedom. Matrix Freedom is a company, it's a global business now, and they basically what they do is in fact, now I'll go through the presentation. So there's 2 parts to it. One is the Roadmap to Freedom, which is the old Matrix Freedom as it was. A recent addition to that is the I Am Free strand, if you like. The Roadmap to Freedom covers all the financial aspects: how to reclaim your mortgage payments, how to reclaim your bank, withdraw your bank payments. Anything to do with the financial side of things is done through the Roadmap to Freedom. And the I Am Free part covers all of the lawful requirements to become free, to separate yourself from the matrix, literally on a legal, on a lawful basis. So what you do is you sign up as a member for free. And then you can enroll for one or other or both of these strands. Okay, and then being in either process doesn't take away from your ability to be either an affiliate or a network organizer. So being an affiliate in this business is not automatic. You have to apply to become an affiliate. And as an affiliate, you would introduce new members. If you wanted to become a network organizer introduces affiliates and also members. Okay, and there's a reason why you might do that. There's a great referral program. If you introduce members and they then subsequently take advantage of these services to reclaim their mortgages and so on, then you get a commission for doing that, or for introducing them, sorry. So the Roadmap to Freedom is to recoup your checking account, or in the UK we call it a current account. Literally everything that left your bank in the year 2022 you can receive back, and it costs £1,000 per personal account and £2,000 per business account. Now £1,000 is about $1,200 roughly. And then once you've done that for 2022, you can recoup subsequent years, so 2023, and right now you can also claim back 2024. In January next year, we'll be able to claim back 2025. We'll start the process of claiming back 2025. So every year going forward, you can pay another £1,000 per personal account, £2,000 per business account, and claim back all of your outgoings. I know people that have, in fact, I've got 4 different bank accounts. At the moment, I'm only claiming back two for 2022, 2 for 2023. And it's amazing how much money actually went through those accounts in those years. I think the 2022 one was $168,888, and the 2023 is about 108,000. So, you know, it's certainly worth paying £3,000 to get that back. Something else you can do with Roadmap to Freedom is discharge mortgages, loans, taxes, and other debts. So any debts can be discharged. You can also create new currency to acquire a property or a car or a boat or a helicopter or a yacht. Okay, and you can take all of your assets and shelter them in a private trust, which is very, very interesting, because once it's in a private trust, it can't be touched by anybody, not the government, not a creditor. Nobody can pierce the veil, as the legal people say. They can't pierce the veil of a private trust. It's as if it doesn't exist in the world. And you can create new currency as needed to live a life of abundance. You might say, well, I need $250,000 a year to live. So every year you create $250,000 of currency. You might say $1 million. It doesn't matter. It's the same process. The I am free part is the lawful part. So you correct your status and standing. I'm not going to go into this, but at the moment you are you're registered to the state. Therefore, you're a person. You're not one of we the people. You're not registered as a living, breathing person. So we need to correct that so that you become a living, breathing person, and you own the legal person. You own the you that the government likes to deal with. So that you correct that, and therefore you're separate from the matrix. You can rescind all unlawful contracts and replace with lawful contracts. There's a reason why you would do that. You know, you might want to have a mobile phone, for example. At the moment, the contract you have with the phone company is unlawful because it's your straw man, it's your person that you represent, and you replace it with a lawful contract with you, the living, breathing person. So, you know, you might want to do that because that means you maintain that separation from the state. Set up a private trust to operate for you without you being enjoined to the control matrix. And then you transfer the allodial total of all of your assets to the private trust. Now, this might come as a shock to some of you. If you paid off your mortgage, you think you own your house, but you don't. Because that house is registered to the government owns the house, and the government considers you to be the occupier. In the UK, I'm classed as the occupier rather than the owner. In some parts of the world, you're the resident, okay, rather than the owner. So the allodial title gets transferred into your private trust, and the private trust then owns the property, not the government. You then have, as the beneficiary of that private trust, you then have the right to live in that property for as long as you want, and you can pass that right on to your children or whoever you like, okay, and they become beneficiaries of the private trust, and that property, whatever the property is no longer under the control of the government. And for example, as well, if you look at the vehicle, you might have paid good cash money for a vehicle, but you've had to register it to in the UK, the DVLC or DVLA, and in America to the DMC. So that vehicle is owned by the government. It's not yours. If they want to tow it away and crush it, they jolly well can. Okay, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're classed as in the UK, you're classed as the registered keeper. In some countries, you're classed as the registered driver. Okay, so you transfer the allodial title of that vehicle into your private trust, and it's untouchable by the government, by the state. You can also engage with the Old Souls Nation Foundation to assure your protection and your sovereignty going forward. And there's so many benefits to being part of the Old Souls Nation Foundation. Okay, health benefits and financial benefits, and just so many different things that as a community we're bringing together, you know, free energy and so on. So it's all worth looking into over a period of time. And you can obtain your own passport, driving license, etc., where you are an ambassador of your own state, if you like. You're an ambassador of your own embassy, so you are completely separate from the state, and you're protected by ambassadorial privilege, okay, or diplomatic immunity, as some people refer to it. So that's Matrix Freedom. The next one is BitHarvest. BitHarvest is a business where you buy these little electronic devices. Okay, you pay money for it and it gets put into a booster farm in Kuala Lumpur. There's 3 of them at the moment. They're expanding rapidly. And that booster then talks to, or through the miracle of the internet, talks through a VPN to a Bitcoin mining farm somewhere in the world. We help them, the Bitcoin mining farm, improve their performance, and we receive some rewards as a result of that, improved performance. So the mining company wins, BitHarvest wins, and you win because you're the owner of the booster. And you can either buy one booster for $1,000 or 10% shares. So you can buy a 20% or a 30% or 50% share of a booster for $100 per share. Okay, and the boosters, just the more boosters you have, the more you make. You get paid in Bitcoin every single day. So how much of this have I already covered? BitBoosters enhance miners' profits. For your own BitBoosters, you earn about, at the moment, it's about $3 per day in Bitcoin as a passive income. So once you've bought the booster, the Bitcoin just keeps rolling in. You also earn commissions on sales of BitBoosters in your group. Now, you don't have to have a group. You can have a passive business where the BitBoosters you own just get you Bitcoin every day. But if you do show this to somebody else and they get involved, they buy a booster and you receive a commission as a result of that. And when their BitBooster mines Bitcoin for them, you get a small percentage override, a very small percentage. But if you have a large enough group or enough boosters in your group, it can all add up significantly. And you can buy more boosters anytime you like, or shares of boosters to manually compound your earnings. You can use your profits, if you like, to buy more boosters. And consider boosters are an income-producing asset. So it's not a business, it's an income-producing asset. It's a little bit of electronics you bought, and it produces Bitcoin for you every day. And it's like a rental property or an ATM machine, and it just keeps making Bitcoin for you every single day. So like I say, it's not really a business, it's just an electronic device. So this chart is going to show you that the more boosters you have, the more your Bitcoin is going to be worth. And what we're talking about here is that you accumulate your Bitcoin for the next 5 years. And the prediction here is that in 5 years' time, Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million. So if you have one booster, your accumulated Bitcoin over 5 years is $200,000. If you have 5 boosters, your accumulated Bitcoin over 5 years is $1 million. If you have 100 boosters, your accumulated Bitcoin over 5 years is 20 million. Okay, so if you consider this, one booster is $1,000. So after 5 years, you've turned $1,000 into 200,000. 100 boosters is $100,000, and you've turned $100,000 into 20 million over 5 years. That's just the strategy, the passive income side. There are other ways of making money with BitHarvest. Okay, this is just buy some boosters, let them earn Bitcoin for you. So let's look at another strategy. As you introduce more and more people to BitHarvest, you can work your way up through the star ranks. Okay, star ranks are just particular criteria. You achieve these criteria, you get that star rank, and the reward increases. The further up the bonus chart you go, the greater your reward. So I'm not going to go through very much about this at all. We're talking about the 1-star level. Okay, if you save up all your Bitcoin for 5 years, and assuming Bitcoin is worth $1 million in 5 years' time, then in 5 years your Bitcoin is going to be worth 274,000. Okay, so that's you as a 1-star, and you stay as a 1-star. Don't do anything else. Don't improve your lot in life. You just stick with 1-star, and you've accumulated $274,000 of Bitcoin. You've also earned $350 in sales commissions, and you've earned $173 per month in referral income. So 2-star, I'm not going to go through all of it again. Like I said, in 5 years' time, your Bitcoin will be worth 1.3 million. 3-star, in 5 years' time, your Bitcoin will be worth 3.3 million. 4-star, your Bitcoin in 5 years will be worth 10.9 million. 5-star, and these are just minimum levels. There's a big gap between 5-star and 6-star, so this will go, the money you're making will go up until you get to 6-star, and then it'll jump up to the 6-star level. So in 5 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 30 million. In 6 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 60 million, and that's just with the price of 1 million in 5 years' time. 7-star, in 5 years' time, your Bitcoin would have accumulated to 95 million. And in 5 years' time, at the 8-star level, your Bitcoin would have accumulated to 350 million. Okay, so there's a lot to be said for following a strategy where you hit the star ranks and you work your way up through the star ranks. Strategy 3 is just buy bit boosters instead of hodling. So it's a comparison, if you like, between two different strategies. So we're assuming a Bitcoin price of 70,000, and we assume that in 2 years' time, Bitcoin is going to be worth 200,000. If we buy one Bitcoin and hold on to it for 2 years, it's worth 200,000. We paid 70, so we've made 130,000 in profit. Alternatively, you can buy, for that 70,000, you buy 70 boosters, and after 2 years, you've accumulated 4.5 million because you now have 434 boosters. That 70 boosters will, every time you hit $100, you add another share. So you have 434 boosters. What happened? Okay. Yeah, and so you'll be earning $4.5 million per year, every year from 2 years onwards. And of course, the price of Bitcoin is going to go up far beyond $200,000. So Wealth Warriors, Cryptex, I want to just flick over to a video. You're going to tell me you can see my screen there. I'm just going to share this video quickly. Only 1 minute 34. Okay, so that's Cryptex, a short introduction video. So it said a lot of stuff in that video that means I don't have to say it now. So it's an investment company, and it's a uniform platform that combines a lot of different things. We only use one particular aspect of this. We don't use everything the platform offers. And it also gives you access to trading, and the headquarters is in Singapore. And basically what happens is you get rewarded for providing staking liquidity. Well, I should say for providing liquidity. And it said in the video there, I don't know whether you caught it, but basically what you do is you give $100 to them, and they use that money to take out an insurance, to take out a loan, and to insure the loan. And so based on that loan, they're going to repay the interest on the loan from the profits that are made, plus they're going to give you some profits every day. And at the end of the period, they're going to settle the loan. They're going to draw a line under everything, and they're going to give you the difference, which is about for a 3-year contract is about $34,000. For a 5-year contract is about $43,000. They also do an 84-month contract, which is, I'm not going to tell you how much that is. I saw it the other day and I was amazed. And they're now just about to introduce a 120-month contract. So when that happens, you can start comparing. A lot of people buy things like government bonds, 10-year bonds, 20-year bonds, even 30-year bonds. And if you look at what you get returned from a government, even a US 10-year bond, it's absolutely peanuts compared to what you get for 10 years in Cryptex. The downside is you put your money in and you can't use that money, you can't touch that money until the whole thing matures in 3, 5, 7 or 10 years. Okay, so but you get the you do get the benefit of so if you use that as a savings plan, it's absolutely brilliant. So minimum investment of 100, typical payout after 3 years will be 43,800. That was found in 2018, actually it's 2016. So this is my first contract. I have 5 contracts. Yay! I know people have hundreds, but I have 5. My first contract after 21 months, starting with $100, is $15,147, and I earned I'm earning $52 every single day based on that. And after 1 year, I started to add $100 packages, so I built up a little bit of confidence in the system. Also, my risk appetite, I was quite prepared to put $100 in for 3 years and see what happened. After a year, my risk appetite changed a little bit. I thought, actually, I can stand to take a bit bigger risks. So I put another $400 in. So I have 5 contracts. So my total exposure in this company now is $500. When these mature, the first one matures and I receive that lump sum, I will certainly be investing a lot more heavily. I'd have made some profits, so let's put some back in. A lot of people I know would trust me to say, yes, this is what I did. I put $100 in. I got $43,000 out, and based on that, based on the strength of my testimony, they would put a little bit more money in themselves. Okay, because people trust people they know. So there's my that's my total printout, if you like, and it tells us here how much when the contract start date was. Okay, when the end date's going to be, which is the 18th of July 2026. My last profit was $52. My total profit is $15,147. The monthly fee to the insurance company is $210, and the monthly handling fee is $30. The loan interest per year is $2,041. See, people say, well, why would a bank lend us that money? Why would the insurance company insure that money? And this is the reason why. Most insurance companies would love to have a policy where they're receiving $210 every single month for nothing. Okay, they would, and also Cryptex are making $30 a month. The bank are earning $2,000 a year. Okay, so that's why they do it. It's a good deal for them, and it's a good deal for us. So let's have a look at some strategies. One is a small one-off investment. This is what I did originally, invest $100, total outlay is $100, and after 3 years, we draw $43,800, and then I'm going to reinvest $100 using profits. And in fact, like I said, I'll probably invest a little bit more than that. There is one thing that didn't come across from the video or from anything I've said, and that is you can buy $100 contracts, but there is still a deal on at the moment that if you buy 10 contracts in one go, they will give you 5 extra contracts. Okay, so if you buy 20, they'll give you 30 contracts. If you buy 30, they'll give you 45 contracts, and so on. Okay, so in lumps of 1,000, 10 contracts, they'll give you 50% increase immediately. So, you want your money to make at least 50% immediately. That's how you do it. Okay, strategy 2 is a large one-off payment. I call it large, $1,000. It's not that large really, but it's larger than $100. So my total outlay is $1,000, and after 3 years, I get just over 400,000. Strategy 3 is a small savings and income. So you invest $100 every quarter, January, April, July, and October. I know people that are actually following this strategy. And of course, you don't have to use these strategies. You can make up your own. These are just some I thought of fairly quickly for this presentation. After 3 years, your total outlay with this strategy, you've outlaid $1,200. And again, $1,200 is not a massive outlay over 3 years. After 3 years, you're withdrawing $43,800 every quarter, so your annual income is $175,000 per year. Most people could probably struggle by on $175,000 a year, and your outlay was only $1,200 over a 3-year period. Increase that a little bit. Instead of $100 every quarter, you do $100 every month. So your total outlay after 3 years is $3,600. Still not massive. Most people spend more than that on their hobby over a 3-year period. A lot of people spend a lot more than that on their hobby every year. So after 3 years, you're withdrawing $43,000 every month. So your annual income is over $500,000 per year. That's a medium savings and a lifetime savings and income. I know people that put aside $100 every week towards their Christmas. They call it a layaway plan. So they put away $100 every week, and then just before Christmas, they get $5,000, and with that, they can buy everything for Christmas, all the food, all the decorations, all the presents, everything. Okay, so some people do that, and after 3 years, your total outlay is $15,600. Sorry, I didn't know if you heard that. After 3 years, you're withdrawing $175,000 every month. So your income is over $2 million per year. And if you couldn't struggle by on $175,000 a year, I bet you can with 2.2 million. Okay, so that's the Cryptex platform. Let's have a look at UBX. There's a list of all the advantages of UBX, and I'm going to just very quickly switch over to another video. With all the speed of a striking snake. This one's a little bit longer. It's about 3 minutes long, but it's a great video.
Welcome to UBX, a global digital asset trading platform dedicated to providing users with secure, efficient, and diversified digital asset trading services. Our goal is to become one of the top 5 secure and compliant digital asset exchanges worldwide. In 2025, UBX is embarking.
Sorry, some of you told me you can't hear this, so let's do this share again. Hopefully, so apologies, you've had to sit through the first video with no sound.
Welcome to UBX, a global digital asset trading platform dedicated to providing users with secure, efficient, and diversified digital asset trading services. Our goal is to become one of the top 5 secure and compliant digital asset exchanges worldwide. In 2025, UBX is embarking on a new phase of diversified ecosystem development and global expansion. At the same time, we have introduced a range of financial products, launched incentive programs, and unveiled the Firefox AI intelligent decision-making system. Next, join me in exploring the growth and innovation of UBX. In 2024, UBX garnered widespread market attention with its outstanding performance. These achievements have laid a solid foundation for us to reach even greater goals. UBX Global Development Initiative. 1. Product upgrades. Launching a variety of innovative products to meet the demands of a bull market surge, such as 100 times leverage trading and innovative futures derivatives, more than 500 spot trading pairs, Launchpad supporting spot listing, Earn section featuring new offerings such as mining pools, quantitative trading, and trending assets, opening the UBX staking listing pool, allowing everyone to participate in listing recommendations, a comprehensive strategy to build a complete trading ecosystem. UBX Global Development Initiative 2, new incentive programs revolutionizing the social ecosystem. The UBX incentive program has been fully upgraded, including Bull Market Rewards Program, includes trading incentive sharing, community co-creation, and exclusive early investment opportunities. UBX Creator Program encourages users to earn through contributions with the ability to recommend token listings. New social and trading model, evolving the social ecosystem from going solo to collaborative success, empowering every user to achieve value growth within the UBX ecosystem. UBX Global Development Initiative 3, upgrading the Firefox AI Intelligent Decision-Making System. UBX has upgraded the Firefox AI Intelligent Decision-Making System based on Fly Leopard technology. The core features of Firefox AI include rapid market analysis, real-time monitoring of market trends, smart strategy deployment, one-click implementation of investment decisions powered by Firefox AI, risk warning system, accurate identification of market risks through the advanced FireEye feature. Results, increased trading success rate from 52% to 91.77%, making your trading smarter and safer. UBX Global Development Initiative 4. Expanding the elite team. 45% of team members come from top-tier exchanges. 30% have worked at globally renowned financial institutions. 20% possess experience in successful financial innovation projects. Core team members: CEO Rennie Sharif, Multi-Sector Strategic Investment Manager; CTO Nathan Blackwood, former NASDAQ architect; Risk Control Director Drake Thompson, former Goldman Sachs risk management expert. The team's expertise spans trading engines, blockchain, quantitative trading, and more, driving UBX's technological advancement and global expansion. UBX Global Development Plan. In the coming years, UBX will continue its global expansion and technological innovation. By Q2 2025, introduce Forex futures trading and begin preparations for NASDAQ listing. March 2026, complete NASDAQ mainboard listing. By Q4 2027, launch tiered fee structures, automated investment plans, and institutional account systems. Our vision: to become the trusted digital asset trading platform for 100 million users. Join UBX now and embark on a new chapter in digital assets with us.
Okay. Close those down so that I don't switch them on again, which I did just now. Hopefully we're back in the main room. So we're back to the presentation. I'm not going to go through all of these benefits. I pulled these benefits off of a number of sources, okay, but there's a huge number of benefits. The reason I wanted to share that video with you is not because that's all the things we're going to do, but that's the company that are paying our commissions, okay, and we make our money from all of those clients making their trades on the UBX system. So I'll share some of that with you in just a second. So we stake our fees on behalf of exchange clients, and the company takes our stake to pay the fees, and we get repaid once the client pays the fees on completion of the transaction, plus we get paid profit. So the company would take our some of our dollars and pay the fees, and then the client pays back a few more dollars than we actually gave them in the first place. So our staking money gets used multiple times per day. It doesn't all get used all the time. Sometimes, it will all get used several times a day. But that means that we have plenty of profits to return to our daily earnings, and we earn whether the market's up or down. When the clients get involved and they place trades, maybe they buy Ethereum with their Bitcoin, or they buy Bitcoin with their USDT, or they buy Solana with Ripple. Okay, it doesn't matter whether they make money or lose money or even wipe out and lose their shirt. It doesn't matter, because when they do any of those transactions, we make money. It doesn't matter if the market's up or down. It doesn't matter if the trades are successful or not. We make money. And then at the end of the period of time, so we decide we're going to stake our money for a period of time, and because based on that period of time, we will get a certain return every single day. So we get that profit every day. We can withdraw it every day. We can do whatever we like with it every single day. But the staking capital we get back at the end of that agreed term, which is always nice. you have the option to leave that and just let it roll on and create another staking option, a staking contract, or to withdraw it and walk away, and that's the end of it. But most people, if they make a few $100 based on a few $100 they put in, they won't walk away. They'll want to do it again and again and again. So let's look at some strategies for UBX. This one is where you deposit $1,000 and you earn so you earn $10 a day. So this is where you get a 1% staking plan. 1% is the highest staking plan we do. We do everything from 0.5% all the way up to 1%, but you can choose. And if you stake it for, if you want 1%, then you stake it for 365 days. What that means is every 10 days, you can take out your $100 profit and create another stake. So now instead of $1,000, you've got $1,100. And then 10 days later, take out the $100 profit, and now you've got $1,200. And then 9 days later, you take out the $100 and restake it, and you've got $1,300, and so on. So that's how you manually compound to increase and get larger and larger daily earnings. Eventually, you get to the point where you can take out several $1,000s every single month and still have a large asset creating more income for you. With $1,000, you can generate a monthly income of $1,000 per month. So you put $1,000 in, and in 4 months and 8 days' time, you can start taking out $1,000 per month. That's a pretty good deal. You can't do that with your bank. If you put $1,000 in your bank, they won't allow you to withdraw $1,000 every single month from 4 months and 8 days' time. Strategy 2 is a bit bigger. It's the same process, the same maths, but here you put $10,000 in, and $10,000 you earn $100 per day. And every day you will earn that $100. Every day you take it out and you restake it. So every single day you're adding and adding and adding more and more to your portfolio, your asset, if you like. With $10,000, you generate a monthly income of $10,000 per month in 4 months and 5 days. If you were to say, well, I need $5,000 a month to live on, you can put $10,000 into this, and in just over 3 months, so about 2.5 months, you'll be earning $5,000 per month. Okay, so it's a real money-making machine. So let's have a look at some this particular strategy. And this is where you deposit $5,000 at 0.8% for 90 days. Now, the reason I worked this strategy out is somebody asked me to look at what's the best thing they could do with their $5,000. Their risk appetite is they're prepared to risk $5,000 for 90 days. I said, okay, let's look at that. So you deposit $5,000 at 0.8%. That's the plan you get for 90 days. Don't restake it all, save up all your profit, and at the end of that, you will receive back your 3,000. So you'll receive 3,600 in profit. Okay, every single day you receive a little bit. And at the end of the 90 days, you'll have 3,600, plus you'll have your $5,000 back, and so you will have 8,600 in total. What that means then is they can take that 3,600, well, they take their 5,000 back and put it back in their pocket and say, thank you very much. That's nice and safe now. But then they will put their 3,600 into a plan for a longer period of time to produce more income. So effectively, they're then playing with free money. Okay, they're playing with house chips or casino chips, if you like, rather than their own money. So they're like that. That's good. They'll make 8,600, or they'll have 8,600 from their 5,000 investment. But I said, well, why not look at it like this? Why not? Instead of the 0.8% for 90 days, let's look at putting it into a 1% plan for 365 days. Now, listen, I know that's not your risk profile because it's $5,000 for 365 days, but let's just have a look at this. What we're going to do is we're not going to restake. In fact, that should be for the first 100 days. We're not going to restake. And then after 100 days, we'll have made $5,000 at 1%. Okay, so then we withdraw our $5,000. We've got that, put it back in our back pocket, nice and safe. Okay, but now we've still got $5,000 earning us another $50 a day. So after another 265 days, okay, so it's a 365-day plan. It takes us 100 days to get our 5,000 back. After the other 265 days, we would have received another 13,250. That's assuming we don't do anything to manually compound or restake anything. Okay, so we've got 13,250 plus we get our 5,000 back, which means by following this strategy, our $5,000 has earned us 18,250 more for the same risk. Okay, so instead of 8,600, it's earned us 23,250, so 18,250 more, basically the same risk. Instead of 90 days, it's 100 days. Most people would stretch their risk to that sort of level. Okay, so that's the 4 different platforms that we use, that we've adopted. And I'd recommend all of them to you, clearly, or they wouldn't be in our portfolio. So we have communications, we have a Telegram group, and I'm going to get through this very quickly now. We hold this Zoom call every Sunday at 10 UK time. Bring new people, it's a shortcut to fast growth. Attend the Zoom calls of the platforms, we publish their schedules. Take your people with you. And for Matrix Freedom, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. Get the referral links for all platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of your referral links. Okay, so register in all 4 platforms, make a list of all your referral links and pass them on to your people so that they sign up in all 4 opportunities with you. They may not fund all 4 opportunities, but get them to sign up in all 4 opportunities as soon as they can. And then they decide, or you decide, which of the platforms you want to start funding. I try to keep a balanced portfolio. Haven't always succeeded in that, but so I might invest, put $100 into one, or put $100 into all 4 of them, and then add a little bit more to each of them as I go along. Try and keep it a little bit balanced. Okay, what happened there? Ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. Attend a Zoom call or watch a video for each platform you've attended, so you don't have to be an expert, but just know your way around. And as new platforms are added, make sure to get the referral link from your upline. Now, this works really, really well. When we added the latest platform, UBX, I saw a lot of people phoning their upline saying, come on, I want to get into this UBX thing. So you better register and get me your referral link, and bully their upline into getting in so that they could join as quickly as possible. Once you've registered, pass your referral link to your existing team and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as you can. So grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to this Zoom call or by sharing this video from YouTube. You only have to try the 1 or 2 platforms you're excited about, then bring your new members to Wealth Warriors for them to learn why they should sign up in all 4 platforms. So you build one platform and you have 4 platforms grow below you. You can get a Wealth Warriors landing page by clicking on this link. In fact, you don't even have to sign up for a free account with System.io. System.io will create a free account for you if you just click that link. It'll copy the landing page, it'll copy all the emails across to your account pages, and then all you do is go to the emails and change the referral links to your referral links. You can get a Cryptex landing page by taking this link and get rid of the C123456789 and replace it with your own Cryptex account number, which begins with a C and has got the same number of digits. Okay, so if you do that, then you can send this link to people and they will be shown a landing page. They click on get started and they send to your Cryptex registration page to join you in Cryptex. Marketing materials, chat groups, PDF documents, videos, prospecting scripts, introduction emails, YouTube channels, and a whole lot more can be found here. For UBX, it's the ubxexchange.notion.site/UBX-EN. Okay, so you can go there and you can get everything you could possibly want about how to grow your UBX business. Cryptex, you can go to, is an area called boards, app.boards.com. And then there's a long number that you need to get right to in order to get all the information from Cryptex or from the board's site about Cryptex. And there's everything from introductory videos, email scripts, just everything you possibly want. And in Matrix Freedom, there is a website with a number of 10-minute videos. And I strongly recommend go along. Now, you don't have to register for this to get involved in the platform and start learning on the videos and this sort of thing. You need to register as a member, but you can do that for free. But with this website, you don't need to register at all. You just go there as a website and you can watch all these 10-minute videos that will help you to understand what Matrix Freedom is all about. So a quick reminder, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We don't want to be at anybody else's mercy. We make our own rules. We decide our own fate. And that's it. We stick to our own strategies. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term. As far as we can determine, of course, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But as far as we can determine, they've got to be in it for the long term. We only work with companies that are above board. We build a large asset, whether it's a large number of boosters or a large number of contracts in Cryptex or a large number of staking plans in UBX. Okay, we build it up over time to have a large asset, because that large asset then allows us to have a large income. And also, hopefully, we can withdraw a large income, and we can also reinvest some of that profit and grow our asset even further. That's the plan. It might not be your plan, but I'd recommend you to consider that. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. People do get upset with me when I look at their dearly beloved projects and I say, sorry, it's a Ponzi scheme, or sorry, it's just a money game or a shell game, or is not sustainable, or it's a scam or whatever. So people do get upset with me, but that's the name of the game, I guess. The thing is that we apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We're not at the mercy of any one company. And if we meet a platform that doesn't fit, we don't consider it. If in doubt, don't. I believe I've coined this phrase for this particular industry. I borrowed it from Forex trading. But my philosophy or my policy is that I would rather be out of a platform wishing I was in than in a platform wishing I was out. Okay, so that's kind of what I bring to the table. If in doubt, don't. So finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. Do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. Where it's available, set up your 2FA on your accounts. And if you don't know what this is or how to do it, Google 2FA. Back up your passwords and your 2FA codes in a secure location. Write it down. Keep it safe. Put it in your safe if you have one. Make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death. And that's it. Welcome to Wealth Warriors. Get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They're ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth. And notice I put it in that order. It's the wealth is going to happen. If we can do the first two, then the wealth will happen over a period of time. Okay, the URLs of those two videos. The first one we had no sound, checked. Okay, so I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to come back to the main room. I'm now going to stop the recording. And
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.